Hello. So, good evening to all the joinees. Hi, this is Niketan. So, I welcome you all for the NGEN Markets webinar. So, meanwhile, others join, we'll take a look at today's webinar topic. So in our today's webinar topic, here we are going to see how you can onboard clients portfolio and how you can do the same portfolio level analytics. In this, first we'll be seeing the multiple ways of onboarding client portfolios, and the second one in which we are going to see how you can compare this portfolio performance with its respective benchmark. And in the third one, we are going to understand how you can check the asset allocations and the overlaps. And at the last, we'll be having a topic related Q&A when and the forum will be open for a topic related Q&A. So we'll start with the webinar. So as you can see, this is the landing page for NGEN Markets, and for our today's webinar topic, we'll be going to the clients tab. So here, as you can see in this clients tab, here we are having two tabs. First one which is RTA connection and second one which is manual data. So here in this RTA connection, here you are able to onboard all your registered ARN and RIA code clients through this RTA connection. So in this, once your RT setup has been completed, on the left hand side, you will be able to view all your registered clients. And in this, we support multiple ARN views. So here you can see a consolidated view, but let's say if you click here, you can see multiple ARN views and you can also view it for a single way. So in this RT connection, so this is an integration from our backend in which we read, uh, in which we set up some auto forwards and filters, in which we read two files. So the two files are CAMS data WBR4 and second one which is CARB data MFSD 203. So the update cycle for this specific data is twice in a week. So we'll be updating this same data twice a week, and you will be also able to view the latest updated date for this. So you can also see a dashboard for this specific ARN view, in which now you can see it for a consolidated view. But let's say if you want to view it for in a specific single client, so you can click here on this consolidated view and select your ARN number, and now you can see the dashboard for this. So first one, we have shown you the summary for your total ARN, in which you can see your AUM, what is the total AUM for my ARN, then the number of clients under that specific ARN, then the average AUM per client, and also top 10 clients AUM. So the number for this top clients can be also changed. So let's say if you want to check it for the top 25 clients. So if I'm just changing the number to 20, 25, and if I click here besides, so now I can see the top 25's client AUM from that. Then we are having this client holding search. So here we have given you an facility in which you can search for any specific fund and you can let know like in which specific fund are the clients holding into this. So let's say if we are searching for any specific fund, and if I click here, so now we are able to see the list of all the clients which are holding into HDFC FlexiCap fund as a fund in their portfolio. So as you can see in this, we have these three different columns, in which first one is showing you the AUM of this client's AUM, and then you can see the holding information, like to what amount is that specific client holding into that specific fund. And at the last, you can see its holding percentage. So with this, you can search for any specific fund and you can see that whether to what extent it is holding into its specific portfolio. Then you are able to see the top 5 mutual fund exposures. So here we have shown you that which all schemes are having the highest exposure in our specific ARN. So if you hover here, you can see the information. And also if you click on any of these bars, you can see the clients which are holding into that specific fund. So let's say if I click here, so now I can see the list of all the clients which are holding into this ICICI Pru Balance Advantage Fund scheme. Then below here, we have shown you this top asset class classification, in which you can see the differentiation between the asset class, like what is for equity, hybrid, and also for debt. And besides here, you can see the top AMC exposure, the similar if you want to check that which all AMCs are having the highest exposure in a specific year. So if you hover here, you can see this information. And also, let's say if you want to view any of this client's portfolio. So like once your RT setup has been completed, on the left hand side, you can see all the client's information. And here we also have introduced a new feature in which below the client's name, we have also introduced their PAN number. So let's say, for example, for this client, which is Rakesh Kumar. So let's say there are multiple Rakesh Kumar. So with this PAN number, here you are able to identify them with the specific PAN number. And if you want to see its portfolio information, you have to just click on its name, and here you can see a detailed portfolio information for the same. So like here you can see its latest AUM, the number of holdings, then holdings update, and below here you are able to see all the schemes which are consisting in its specific portfolio. And here we have shown some information like the number of units, then its latest value, and also the percentage allocation for the same. And above here, we have shown you some 4 different icons. The first one, which is a weight icon. So let's say if you want to copy these schemes to the compare tab. So you can just simply click here, and all these schemes will be loaded to the compare tab, where you can do a single fund level comparison for all these schemes. And besides here, if we again go here, we have these 2 copy icons. So in this, we have given you this feature in which you can either copy this portfolio to the portfolios tab, or you can also copy this portfolio to the manual data tab. So the use for this copy option is that, so let's say if you want to make some changes to this existing client's portfolio. So in this RTA connection, here we don't give a feature to edit this portfolio. But let's say if you want to make some changes to this portfolio and you want to check the same. So you can either copy this portfolio to the portfolios tab, or you can copy it to the manual data. And the last one, which is for Excel download. So which the information which you are seeing here below. So you can download all this information in an Excel format for this. And then at the last, if you want to do an analytics for this portfolio, so here you can click on this run analytics, and you can do an detailed portfolio level analysis for this same, for this client. So with this, we have completed the RTA connection. Then second one, which we'll be seeing, is the manual data. So here in this manual data, here we have 2 options in which you can manually create your client's portfolio. So for that, you'll just simply click on this add single client, and first one, which is add manually. So here we have given you to put in some data points in which you can put in a name. Like if I'm just giving it a name and click on add client. And here you can see we have these 2 options in which you can either search for any funds and you can search for stocks. So in this, you have to manually type in the names for the funds and the stocks through which you can add. So let's say if you're having a list of funds, so you can just type for the name for the same. And as you click here, the fund will be added, and you can do the same for the stocks also. So if you are having any stocks, you can just simply type the name here and it will be added. And besides here, you can see their last price and also their date as of. So this will be the latest price and also the latest date as of. And at the end here, you can see there are 2 columns. So first one, in which you can either put in the data on basis of units or the current value. So you can either put in the information in units. So like let's say if we are having a units of this specific fund, which is 1,000 units, and it will be directly calculating this its current value by multiplying its latest price. And also you can do this similar on the basis of current value. Like let's say if I'm putting up a value of 2 lakh, so it will be directly showing me the units for the same. And once you have completed inputting all this data, you have to click here on this done button. And here your portfolio has been created, which you have created through manual data. And you can see the information for the same, like its latest AUM, then its number of holdings, and also here you can see the schemes which are in that specific portfolio. And the second way in this manual data is which, so here we have also introduced a new feature for our NJ clients. So in this, you can upload a file. If you click on this add single client, and we have this option, which is add NJ format. So here the NJ clients can upload the scheme wise valuation report in the Excel file, through which they can upload their clients information. So simply they have to upload this scheme wise valuation report, and your clients information will be saved for the same. So with this, we have seen the clients tab, in which you can either use the RTA connection for your existing clients, and also the manual data for to create your client's portfolio manually by punching in the data. Then we'll be seeing the next ways for onboarding client's portfolio, which will be in the portfolios tab. So here in this portfolios tab, we have this feature, which is statement analyzer. So if you see this on this right hand side, statement analyzer. So if we click here, here we have this feature where you can upload your client's portfolio, prospective client's portfolio, by using eCash file. So the ECAS file should be an original file which can be either from NSDL, CDSL or CAMS, and it should be an original file. So how you can upload the same? You have to just simply click here on this choose a file and then select your file from here. And then you have to put in the password, which can be the PAN number. Then click here on this check a file. And once the file has been recognized, it will be showing you the file type. So here for this case, it is showing you that it is a CDSL file. And below here, we have given you this option. In this, you can either give it a label, like let's say if I'm giving it a label, and then you have to click here on this process and save file. So this will take some 10 to 20 seconds to save it. So for that, you can also see here we have shown you some different informations. Like here you can see, like once your file has been saved, now you're able to see the client's name, then the file type, its PAN number, the uploaded date information, and also its file area. And now let's say if you want to see a quick report for this, so you can click here on this board like icon, which will be showing you the report for it. So also note that in this ECAS file upload, here we read both fund holdings and also stock holdings if there are any. And also in fund holdings, we show both direct and regular funds. So this was the first way for our ECAS upload. And now let's say how you can run the analysis for the same portfolio. So we will just go back again to NGEN Markets here. And in Portfolios tab, here we have this plus icon, which is showing you add a new portfolio. So you have to click here and you can see this second option, which is load statement analyzer. So if you just click here, so here you are able to view all the ECAS files which are uploaded. And let's say if you want to load this file, we have this plus icon and it will be loading all the respective holdings from that specific ECAS file. So now you can see it has loaded all the files and we are able to see its classification on the basis of that asset class. Like you can see for debt and its percentage allocation, equity, and also for others. And also besides here, you can see the percentage allocation. And below here, we have given you this option in which you can see its name, which was shown in its file. And also if you want to change any of this file, you can do the same. And also we have given this option in which you can either save this portfolio to your login. So if you click here, we have given this option in which you can select any of these either folders. So by default, it will be showing you for the active folder. And also if you want to save this portfolio to your login, click here on this create button. Or let's say if you directly want to run analysis for the same. So if you click here on this run button, so your portfolio will be not be saved. So for that, you have to again have to repeat this same steps. So we advise you that once you have created a portfolio through the statement analyzer, you click it on this create button and then your portfolio will be saved, and then you can just click it on this run button and now you can do the portfolio analysis for this. So this was the first way in which you can upload a portfolio in the portfolios tab. And now I'll be showing you the second way, which is through an ECAS file upload, so which can be through an Excel file upload. So for that same, you can again go to the portfolios tab in which you have to click on this plus icon. So we have this option for Excel file upload, which is load ISNs from Excel. So if I click here you can see in this gray portion box, here you have to copy paste two data points. So the first data point will be an ISIN, and second one can be either a percentage example, amount example, or unit shares example. So with me, I am having an example file. So I'll be just copying it from here. So as you can see here, I have the ISINs and also the weightage for this. So I'll be copying it from here and you have to copy paste it here. And below here, you can see we have this option, read holding as. So you have to let know the system, like whether what is the second column you're using. So as we have used the example for the percentage, I will be selecting the read holding as a percentage and then click on well. And now you can see it has shown me all the holdings according to their ISNs. And you can also see that in this ISNs, we are showing you both fund holdings and also stock holdings. So here we have shown you a differentiation for both of this. So for stock, we have used a graph-like icon, which you can differentiate. And for a fund, we are showing you a bag-like icon. So in this, you can also simply give this portfolio a name, like let's say, and then you can click on create. So your portfolio will be saved into the login, and then you can click on run to do your analysis for this. So this is the portfolio analysis page in which you can see on this top left, here you're able to see all the schemes which are in this portfolio and their respective allocations. And also besides here we have this start date option, in which you can select your own time period. So if I click here on this change button, here we have given you some predefined time periods. And also if you want to select your own custom date, you can do the same for it. But now let's say if you want to do this performance portfolio analysis for, let's say, 5 years time period. So I'll just click here on this 5 year, and it will be showing me the performance tab, where you can do the performance analysis for our portfolio against the benchmark. So on the left hand side here you can see the graphical representation, and also on the right hand side we have shown you the statistical representation for the same. So as you can see in this graphical representation, the blue line here is denoting our portfolio's performance, and the black line here is denoting our index performance. So as you can see, the benchmark here has been automatically selected as reference index 2. So here we have given you an automated benchmark selection, in which we show you the benchmark on the basis of the current asset allocation of your overall portfolio. So let's say if you want to change any of this reference index or this index from here, so you can go to this benchmarks box where we have this NGEN box. You have to just simply click here on this search reference indices. So here you can see a collection of automated benchmarks which are created by our side. So these are like set of 11 benchmarks. So this is the combination of Nifty TRI and Nifty 10-year GSEC bond. You can use any of this, or let's say if you want to use any of the NSE benchmarks, you can just click here on this NSE, click on search Nifty indices, and from here you can select any of your desired index. And also if you want to do the same for BSE benchmarks, you can do the same. And at the last, let's say if you want to create your own customized benchmark, in which you can, if you just click here on this custom benchmark and click on this manage custom indices. So here you are able to create your own custom benchmarks in which you can add multiple indices. So for example, I am adding some random funds, random indexes. And here you can see besides here we have given you this option in which you can give your allocations for it the same. So let's say if I'm giving the allocations, and here you have to see that the allocations are 100% allocated, and then you can just simply give it your name and click here on this save custom index. And once your custom index has been saved, you can load it from here. So you have to just click here on this search your custom indices, and from here you can select the custom index which you have saved. Then besides here you are able to see some statistical information for the portfolio and also for the benchmark. So like here we have shown you the month to date, year to date, 1 year, 3 year and 5 year returns for both the portfolio and also for the benchmark. And below here you are able to see the cumulative return, which shows you the point to point returns for the time period, which is from 2021 to 2026. So as you can see, for a portfolio, the cumulative return for the time period was 91.85 percentage, and for the benchmark it was 68.27 percentage. So with this we can also tell that our portfolio was outperforming the benchmark for this time period. Then you can see the CAGR, like what was the growth rate of our portfolio for this time period, which was 13.91 percentage, and for the benchmark it was 10.96 percentage. Then here we have shown you the annual volatility. So here the volatility tells you about the standard deviation, like what was the risk the portfolio considered for the returns which we had generated for this time period. So as you can see, for our portfolio the volatility was 10.40 percentage, and for benchmark it was 12.37 percentage. So with this you can also say like the portfolio had taken a less percentage of risk, but it has generated a higher percentage of returns than of the benchmark for this time period. Then we have also shown you the Sharpe ratio, which shows you the risk adjusted returns for the portfolio. And as we say, like in Sharpe ratio, higher the Sharpe ratio, better the performance. So as you can see, like the Sharpe ratio for our portfolio was 0.64, which was higher than of the benchmark, which is 0.34. Then we can also see this versus reference index 2. So as you can see here we have shown you the alpha. So from here you can check that whether what was the alpha generated by our portfolio against the benchmark. So the first one, which is telling you about the cumulative excess on benchmark, like what was the excess return or the positive returns given by the portfolio against the benchmark. So it is showing us a percentage of 23.58 percentage. And then we have also shown you this market capture ratios, like the up capture ratio and down capture ratio for the same. So Here it is showing us the up capture ratio for 96.99. So how we calculated it? So to see the calculation, you can just click here on this blue eye icon, in which we have shown you all the monthly returns, monthly positive returns given by the benchmark for this time period. So here we have took all the positive monthly benchmark returns, irrespective that the portfolio had given us positive or negative returns, and then we have took a CAGR of both of these returns for asset and benchmark, and then we have simply divided the made a division of the asset returns by its benchmark returns, and then we have arrived on this up capture ratio. So in up capture ratio, we say that higher the up capture ratio, the better. And next one, which is for down capture ratio. So here in this, we are able to see like what was our portfolio's performance when the benchmark was in a bear. So if you also want to see the calculation for the same, here you can click on this blue eye icon, where you can see we have took all the monthly negative returns of the benchmark for the time period. And also for the calculation of the same, we have took the CAGR of both asset and benchmark returns, and then we have divided the asset returns by its benchmark returns. So in this also, here you are able to see like for this time period when the benchmark was falling to an extent of negative 24.84, our portfolio was only falling by negative 18.83 percentage. So with this also you can say like when the benchmark was falling, our portfolio was falling less than of the benchmark. So with this we can also say that it was showing a sort of resilience against the benchmark when it was falling. And as we say for down capture ratio, the lower the down capture ratio, the better it is. So here in this market capture ratios for both of the benchmarks, we show the up capture ratio and down capture ratio for the benchmark as 100. And as we say, for up capture ratio above 100, the better, and for down capture ratio below 100, the better. Then below here, you can also see the monthly chart and yearly chart for the portfolios. So as you can see for monthly chart, here we have shown you some statistics for the same. Like here you can see in the number, it is showing for all as 61. So it is telling us that in this time period, which was from March of 2021 to the March of 2026, there were total of 61 months, out of which our portfolio was up for 40 months and it was down for 21 months. And the same we have shown for the percentage also. Like it was up for 65.57 percentage and it was down for 34.43 percentage. Then you can also see the best monthly returns for this time period, which was 7.62 percentage, and the worst negative monthly returns, which were to an extent of negative 6.76 percentage. So if you also want to see the same on the basis of yearly basis, so you can also see it through the yearly statistics. So with this, we have completed the performance tab, and now we'll be seeing the asset allocation. So here in this asset allocation, here you're able to see all the exposures. So like from which specific components we are getting the exposure in our portfolio. So as you can see, like the highest exposure here we are getting from HDFC Bank, which is to an extent of 12.64 percentage. So let's say if you want to check that whether from which specific schemes you are getting this exposure. So you can click on this blue eye icon, which shows you all the schemes which are holding into HDFC Bank as a stock. And as you can see that there is also a direct holding. So as you can see in this portfolio, there was a direct holding of HDFC Bank to an extent of 8.23 percentage. So here we are showing you both direct holding and also indirect holding exposure. So if you see the same for Sundaram Multi-Cap Fund, so in our portfolio, its allocation was 15.25 percentage, and the same fund was holding HDFC Bank as a stock in its fund to an extent of 6.38 percentage. So the exposure here comes to an 0.97 percentage. So how we calculated the same? We have simply multiplied the portfolio percentage with its fund percentage, and then we have arrived on this exposure. So through this, you are able to see all the exposures which are you getting in your portfolio. And also if you scroll below here, we are showing you all the minute exposures. So as you can see, we are showing you till the 0.00 decimal here. So here you can see all the minute exposures for the portfolio. Then if you want to see the concentration, so like if you want to check the split between the equity market cap exposures. So we are showing you the equity market cap exposure on two ways. So like the first one, if you click here on this drop down, we are showing you on the basis of total portfolio and also for the equity exposure. So as you can see in this total portfolio, here you are able to see the split between the large cap, small cap, mid cap, and also for others. So if you see here for the overview tab, so you can see the equity here is showing as of 79.61%. So here we have shown you the split between the large, mid and small, and everything other than equity, we have shown it in others, which is comprising to 19.47%. And also the same if you want to see the overall equity, which is 79.61 percentage as a 100% split. So here you can click here on this equity exposure, and now you can see it as a total of 100 percentage. Like this was the large cap split, small cap, and also same for the mid cap percentage. So like this here you can use this concentration tabs. Then we'll move forward to equity sectors, in which you can see like whether in which specific sectors is our specific concentration for the portfolio. So here you are able to see the top 10 equity sectors exposure through this bar graph. And also if you click here any of the specific sector name, so here you are able to see all their stocks and also their exposure which is coming from. So if you click any of the specific sector bar, you can see all the stocks and the percentages for the same. And similar, if you want to check the same on the AMC level, so here you can see the AMC exposures also. So here you can see for HDFC, it is having the highest exposure. Then second one for DSP, and you can also click here and do this. Then we will be seeing the overlaps tab. So in overlaps tab, here you are able to see the common stock holdings between the any two funds. So here we have shown you a matrix like structure in which you can see some percentages. So how you can read this matrix? So let's say if I hover on this 27 percentage. So as you can see on the left hand side, it is highlighting us Sundaram multi-cap fund, and at the top it is highlighting us HDFC flexi cap. So it is telling us that there is a 27 percentage of common holdings between these two schemes. And if you want to see the common stock holdings, you have to click it on this percentage, and now you can see a list which is showing you all the common stock holdings between these two funds. So how you can read this information? So for example, for ICICI Bank, here you can see that Sundaram Multicap Fund is holding it to an extent of 5.36 percentage. And for HDFC FlexiCap Fund, it is holding it to an extent of 8.78 percentage. So for showing the overlaps, we are taking the lowest percentage between both of these two funds, and then we took a total for this, and hence we show this percentage for the same. And also on the top, for the differentiation between these percentages, we have shown you different color coding schemes. So like once the color like the overlaps increases from 40 to 60 percentage, the color seems to change to a darker color. So like here you can see from above 40 it is yellow, then 60 to 80 it is sort of pink, and for 80 to 100, which is the highest percentage, it is showing us red color. So with this you can differentiate between these overlaps, and you can tell that whether there is a higher percentage of overlaps between the schemes of the portfolio. And then we'll be seeing the reporting options. So as you can see here, we have different reporting options. So for the same, I will be showing you the share link option. So let's say if you want to directly share a live link of this portfolio to your client. So here you can click here on the share link option, and here we have this option in which you can click here on this create button. So if you click here on this create button, a live link will be created. You have to just copy this link, and I'll just show you the live preview for the same. So this is the preview for our client link, in which the client can see all the tabs like from asset allocation till beta. And also let's say if you want to make some changes to this specific link. So if you go back again to NGEN Markets here, and I'm just closing it here, and if you again click on share link, so you can see we have some modification options. So like let's say if you want to hide the NGEN fund score in this link. So as you can see in this components on the left hand side here, you are able to see the NGEN fund score. So if you want to hide the same, you can click here. And also we have given the option for how many days you want to keep this link active, or if you want to log the start and end date, you can do the same. And also if you want to force any specific benchmark, so if you click here from this drop down, you can select your desired benchmark which you want to show. Like let's say if I'm selecting this specific benchmark, and then if I just click here on this create button, so here this will be my customized link, and I'll just again go back here and copy paste this link, and now I'll be showing you. So now as you are able to see, like once the portfolio loads, so you can see on this left hand side here you're not able to see the engine fund score, and also besides the start and end date, there is not an option through which the client can customize this date. And also if we go to the same for performance tab, so here you're able to see like the selected benchmark which we had selected here, which was Nifty Metal. So it is showing here. So with this, you can use this customizing options for the share link option. And also besides here, we have this client link option. So as you can see, like the share link option is a desktop friendly link. And if you want to create a mobile friendly link for the same, you can click here on this create client. So here you will be have to put some data points like so you have to put in some information like you have to create your client pin, then you have to put in your start date, select your benchmark, input your capital, and once all this has been created, click here on this create link button, and it will be redirecting you here where you are able to see all the links which you have created. And here we have an integration with WhatsApp. So as you can see that besides this client link name, we have this WhatsApp icon. So if you click here, here you have to simply just put in the client's mobile number and click on this send, and it will be directly, he will be receiving a WhatsApp link from our side, and he can directly see the portfolio through this mobile link. And also besides here, we have an option in which you can see the mobile link preview also. So if I just put in the pin here, here you are able to see its portfolio information. Then you can see the analytics page, markets, and last one, which will be the connect. So like this here, you can use the same both options like the share link or the client link. So with this, we have completed our webinar. So if you have any doubts or queries, you can simply just unmute your mic, or you can also drop your question to the chat box. You can do the same.
Hi, my name is Rahul. What's your good name, please?
Hi, this is
Hi.
Ansu. I'm from the product team. That was
Yeah, hi.
Niketan who took the session.
Okay, sorry, I didn't get your name. Come
This
again.
is Ansu.
Ansu. Okay, Ansu, I just wanted to understand. You mentioned that there is a Sortino ratio which you put along with standard deviation and the Sharpe ratio in the analytics section,
Right,
right? Now, when we refer to the funds fact sheets, we don't see a Sortino ratio out there. Am I
right.
right? So,
Sh-
So where do you pick up this Sortino ratio? You calculate because I understand Sharpe ratio you can
hmm.
still average out and you can still refer to the fund fact sheets and all. Sortino ratios is how do you arrive at this Sortino ratio?
Sure. So, for that matter, all these data that you see onto the screen, these are our proprietary calculations.
All
So,
right.
we calculate this on a daily basis on our backend. So,
Oh, okay.
hence, since these we get it from the data provider, the raw data, which is the NAVs, and we do the calculation on our backend.
Understood. Understood. Okay. But you don't calculate the beta.
Yes, everything, every parameter that you see, we
Beta
calculate
is
it.
not there. We don't see a beta over here. Acha,
So
beta is
you
there.
can see there's a separate tab called beta on a portfolio level or on a single fund level. We have a separate tab for beta.
All
If you
right.
are there in the compare section, there's a column that is there for beta.
Understood. Got it.
Sure. All right. So there's a question in the chat box how to add ARN code in the RTA connection. So for this, our RTA team can get in touch with you, wherein the RTA team will be required to get access to your screen so that we can set in filters and forwards to retrieve files from CAMS and Carvi. So this is more like a one-time effort or a one-time process. Once that is done, your client data will start showing up in the clients section of your respective login. All right, one more question in the chat box. Does the software show clients asset allocation at an asset level, not type of mutual fund? I mean, we on a portfolio level, we do have a tab of asset allocation, wherein we broadly show you the equity debt split, or for that matter, any other component that is becoming a part of this respective portfolio. Anything else that you're trying to understand other than this? If you can just explain a bit onto it.
Hi, sorry, I was on mute.
Yes.
The asset allocation question was mine. So this
Sure.
allocation on the left, for example, it's treating mutual funds as an asset class. Is that right?
Yes, it's more like if there happens to be any fund of fund that way, we will be classifying it into mutual funds as a bar graph that way.
Okay. Right.
Hi, this is Arnav. Just to let you know, I think we're maybe about 2 weeks away from release, but we will be releasing something where any fund that has a holding that is a mutual fund will be opened up into the constituents of the mutual fund, and they will be combined with the existing holdings. So this mutual fund category that you're seeing pretty soon, they will actually also get opened up at the second level.
Yeah, that was actually my
Yeah.
question. That if someone, for example, has five mutual funds, does it
Yes,
show
so FOFs
their
and
actual
any
overall
other
equity,
funds.
debt?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, or
So
even
that
just any
is
hybrid fund.
it is currently actively we're working on it. So in about two
Okay.
weeks we should have a release.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, there's another question. When will the webinar be uploaded on YouTube? Yes, we upload our webinars on YouTube. You can expect this recording to be uploaded on YouTube by next week, the latest. So there's another question in the chat box. Is alpha available? So be it the portfolio section or the compare section, if you go to the portfolio section and once you scroll down, you could come across the parameter called as cumulative excess on benchmark, which is nothing but alpha, excess return generated by now the portfolio over the benchmark that way. And the same could also be looked upon in the compare section, wherein again the column is mentioned as cum excess, cumulative excess that way. So another question in the chat box: is there any way to upload transaction level data for XIRR calculations? So currently, what we are showing on the system is backtesting, which is nothing but basis the current holdings. We will be showing you a hypothetical backtesting of the total portfolio. So transaction level data at the moment, of course, it's not there on the system. We might think of this maybe in the future if there's any option for the same.
And so, hi, this is Rahul again. I just wanted to
Yes.
understand that, related to the same question for the transaction level data. So, when we are uploading, a portfolio of a client, hypothetically speaking, that we, in midway, we got this client transferred to us, the ARN code got transferred to us. Now, when we upload this through an ECAS or the file on this for the analytics, does it take since inception data for that particular PAN number? Like, if suppose HDFC FlexiCap scheme, it was entered in say 2015. So, will it backtrack the data from 2015 and will give the analysis, or how does it work?
Sure. So, from the CAS file that you upload, we will anytime be capturing the current holding. As on that date, when you're uploading the file date, what was the holding of that respective fund? That
Okay,
is what we will be capturing from these CAS files, and then we give you the option to input the time period for your analysis. So, you
all
can
right.
set in your respective start and end date accordingly and view a hypothetical backtesting of
Okay,
this portfolio.
understood. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Hello,
Yes.
this is Rohan.
Yes.
So I have one query. We can view a fund SWP only individually. We cannot view it on a basis of portfolio, right?
That is correct. On a portfolio level, we recently introduced this portfolio level SIP. We can also take this definitely as a feedback if we can get in portfolio level SWP that way.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Please let us know. All right, Niketan, if there are no further questions, we can close for today.
So thank you all for joining. And also you can check all the previous webinars through our YouTube page. So if you click it on this YouTube button, it will redirect to our YouTube page where we have uploaded all the previous webinars. So you can just go to this playlist tab. Here you can see this webinar playlist. And from here you can access all the previous webinars. And also for our today's webinar, it will be uploaded by the next week. So you can also take a look to this today's webinar video also by next week. So thank you all for joining.